Here we go. And action. Welcome back, everybody, once again to the channel, Moving Up with the Miclettes.
Moving on up.
I'm Joseph.
I'm Sherri.
And today we're going to be bringing you another episode of what is going on here with the Miclettes and how we moving up, right? So we got a number of things that we're talking about today. We're going to be bringing you in our home a little bit more, expanding on topics beyond just finances. Hopefully you've got a chance to subscribe to the channel, follow us, like, share, and please feel free to comment.
All right, so we're just going to be touching on some of the achievements that we have accomplished, throughout this year, and especially considering everything that's going on. For us, we just feel like these are, pretty big achievements for us and goals that we've been able to kind of cross off of our list. So, of course, the first one, within the past 12 months is paying off that, over $32,000 worth of, consumer and credit card debt that we had. All the side hustles that we had to do. He still DJs and goes out there on the weekends, even has an event this weekend. So, he's still doing things to, bring in money, and we're having our projects and things that to potentially, in the future will help us, bring in any more passive income and things of that sort. So, it's definitely paying off this debt that we had, and I feel like we kind of kicked its butt. Like, to accomplish that in a year, I think that we did a really good job.
Yeah, I think that props to you for taking a major lead in that project and a major lead in that accomplishment, considering it did take about 12 months, maybe a little bit more if you go back a little bit more. But yeah, 12 months was a major accomplishment for $32,000 plus some change, as you mentioned in that one video. I think more so recognizing the amount of commitment that it took. 12 months is a long time. That's one full calendar year, and you have to be committed.
For those of you who are paying off debt, you definitely know what we're talking about. So, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Just, you got to get through it. Do what you can to get through it.
Yep. Yeah, it'll come. It'll come. Just trust the process, right? As I like to tell my athletes, trust the process. Stick to your plan. Trust the process. You will succeed. Success number 2, or achievement number 2, I should say, for 2020 has been improvements that we've made to the home. There have been some home projects that we have taken up over the last several months, maybe 3 to 4 months. And some of these home projects have been a long time coming. In fact, some of them have been 10 years in the coming.
I mean, hey.
But that's the thing about home ownership, right? People don't realize that, and we learn really early on. You move into a house, you make the house your home, you do things that you want to do to the home that make it all about you and your family, and you spend so much energy, you spend so much time, you spend so much money, and you get burned out. Yeah, and sometimes that happens within the first year or second year. And in our case, that's exactly what happened. After the second year of being in the home, we started having kids, and then it becomes baby projects, and child projects and family projects. And so we got back to some of the projects that we've had on our to-do list. So some of those projects included tearing down a gazebo in the backyard.
Yes. And more so that was on my to-do list for him to do. So... he finally got around to it, y'all.
Hey, for all of my married folks out there, you know exactly what a to-do list is.
Honey-do list.
Right? It's her to-do list for me to do, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's how a relationship works. That's how a marriage works, right? Supposedly. But that gazebo had to go. And it's amazing how much bigger the deck opened up as a result of it. And
it's the backyard opened up.
The backyard opened up.
It's not there.
Yep. And what's crazy is to look out of the kids' room and actually see the yard. Yeah. Because the gazebo was literally right in front of their window, and you couldn't see nothing. Couldn't see anything. So every morning you wake up, such a beautiful day.
Or not.
Exactly. Yeah. So the gazebo's gone, opens up the back deck. which then led to the next project, which was restaining the deck, because that hasn't been done
in like 10 years.
In 10 years.
Since we did it the first time we
yep.
did it.
It was about a 4-day project.
Yeah.
You know,
good job. And I'm very proud of you. He did a good job, y'all. You don't know. He did a good job.
Yeah.
He was out there, you know, when he wasn't staining the deck, he was sealing the fence, which he's going to talk about, I'm sure.
Yeah. So that was another project over the last 2 months. We had a fence that we share with our neighbors, and it was literally falling apart. Literally falling apart. I can't even tell you how we kept this fence from falling over the last 10 years.
A lot of ingenuity.
A lot of ingenuity. And it just got to the point where we was, we got to get this done. I don't care how much it costs. We're going to find somebody to do it and do it right. And that's exactly what we did.
Yeah.
And so thankfully, before the rainy season came, it hasn't even arrived here in the Bay Area. But we're just happy to say that we got a brand new fence. Feels great.
Yeah.
Feels good knowing that and it looks good, and it feels good knowing that it's not about to topple over with some wind, because that's really all it was going to take. Somebody had to just get close enough and sneeze on it, and it was going to fall right over.
Yeah, it was a mess.
Yeah, so that was another project that I'm really proud of, and stained it. Looks great. Now we're moving on to the next fence,
which is directly behind our house, which we're currently working on with 2 other neighbors. So that's a little bit more difficult of a process, you know.
And for all the homeowners that are out there, you know exactly what we're talking about. When you own a home, it's not just the things that you want to do and you can do on your own, but sometimes you got to negotiate with some neighbors, and sometimes it's easier than with others, depending on their home ownership status, right? And so sometimes you got to deal with landlords, sometimes you got to deal with the property owners, sometimes you got to deal with the tenants. And not that we've had bad experiences. It hasn't been a bad experience, so I'm not trying to allude to that. But it's just sometimes there are different challenges with different homes.
Yeah.
That you got to deal with.
Another achievement I think that we're doing a pretty good job at, you know, right now between us as, you know, a married couple, as friends, as, you know, is motivating each other in regards to any passions that we have, and, you know, trying to push those passions further. You know, there's a couple things in the works that we've been doing. Well, one, including this YouTube channel, we finally came together and was like, okay, let's get it done. But, you know, there's other things that we're doing as well. And just like I said before, that, you know, he DJs. So, you know, me just trying to motivate him and, you know, give him the space he needs to do whatever that entails, you know. So I think just, you know, talking to each other, finding out what, you know, our passions are, and if there's anything that we can do for the other to make it easier for them to, you know, succeed in things that they want to do. Because, you know, as a couple, whether you're married, just, you know, in a relationship without the paper, you know, people change, and you always have to be willing to either change with them or you're going to get left behind, you know. So, you know, my goal always as his wife and his friend is to just always try to, you know, be there with him and you know, encourage him and find out, you know, okay, well, what are you into now? What's something that you're passionate about? Any, you know, goals for certain things in the next 2 to 5 years, or whatever the case may be. So.
You've definitely been a huge support for me over the years, you know, and I thank you for that all the time, you know, because I know I have not been necessarily the easiest when it comes down to certain pursuits of passion and pursuits of you know, just new ventures, you know, that I don't know. I think just as a creative mind, I'm always looking to do something new. Something that we've done a pretty good job of is keeping communication as a very top priority when it comes down to, you know, checking in on each other. You know, we have monthly meetings, but then we also have, you know, check-ins, I guess you can say. And those aren't necessarily scheduled, you know, but they are check-ins to just kind of see how we're doing. But I think something that we've added to our list of good things that we do is really motivate and push, you know, give a little bit of a push to each other and say, you know, why don't you think about doing this, and why don't you think about doing that, and have you looked into this, and have you looked into that, you know, especially now that we've even gotten to a point where we're considering investing into hardware and equipment. Like Sherri said, just starting the YouTube channel was a huge, huge success for us because it took about a year and a half.
Probably longer than that, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I think I had started looking into it about 2 years ago and making it kind of like, this is something we can do. Whether it was, I've been trying to get her to start a channel. I wanted to start a solo channel, but I also thought, you know what, let's do a family marriage channel. Let's start a family channel / married couples channel. And of course, the kids want to start a channel, right? Yeah. They want to start their own channels, and that's going to be coming in the future as well. Motivating one another, sharing information with each other, encouraging, always encouraging that person to take it a step further, because in the end, that takes us further together, right? And so as we encourage each other, it encourages us, and we become more successful as a couple, more successful as a family. And the last achievement. This is actually going to be a video all in and of itself, because this topic is so big and it entails so much information. Parenting as best as we possibly can during this time of COVID. I think we need to really pat ourselves on the back that we've tried and we've done as best as we can.
Especially you, because man, baby.
Yeah.
Real MVP, real MVP.
I do appreciate that. I really, really do appreciate you saying that. Because every day. Every day.
That's why we said this is a whole video in itself. So.
And it's not even just so much our kids, right? It's the fact that, as you all know, I'm a high school teacher. And here in San Jose Unified School District, we are teaching from home or from a classroom. I am teaching from home. Our kids are conducting distance learning from home. So you could just imagine, what that's like every day here at home, while I'm trying to teach and experiencing my own challenges as a teacher with my own distance teaching and learning, having to navigate this space that is our home, which is not a school, it's not a classroom, and navigating that process, But outside of that, I think that we've done a pretty good job as parents during this time, trying to find creative outlets for the kids, trying to just make the home as happy and joyful as a place as it possibly can be for 3 young children growing up during this time. And trying to make it as stress-free as we can. And
for ourselves.
For everybody. And healthy and positive and loving. I think we've done a pretty good job of that.
I do too.
But we'll touch more on that in an upcoming video.
In the meantime, in between time, go ahead and leave us a comment below. Let us know what you feel like your achievements have been, especially during this time. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be small, big, just something that you feel like you've accomplished for yourself or for your family or whatever the case may be. But like he said earlier, go ahead and like, subscribe, share.
Comment down below. And what are your achievements for 2020? What have you been very proud of yourself for? Because guess what? You got to give props to yourself sometimes too, right?
Yep.
Absolutely. So keep moving up, and we'll check y'all out next time. Peace out.